Back on SportsCenter, Kevin Connors, Linda Cohn. Let's take you back to 2012. An improbable story comes to fruition. Brad Keselowski caps off an amazing season to win his first career Sprint Cup title. I remember it well. I was there interviewing Brad moments after the race. Hey, Brad, we see the crowd behind you, and we see you enjoying that beer right there. And far be it from me to get in the way of that beer or any beer in your celebration. You want to let us know one more time, the people behind you, what you think of the job they've done this season?
Best damn team I've ever seen in my life, and the best fans. How about that? Make some noise!
Hey, that's cool, but, you know, Brad only won once, that's me, once last year, and I was a member of the pit crew, okay? So put the pieces together. I was the good luck charm. No question about it. As you can see there, we were all excited. It was a great day in Charlotte. It was a fabulous ride, and I think I take full responsibility. And just to prove it, more proof for you, there's the picture.
Nice.
There it is. It's all good. And, yeah, but, you know, you don't need me this year. You're doing pretty good this year, BK, without me.
You know, I'm sensing a friendly rivalry here
there
in the SportsCenter studios.
You're absolutely
and I feel like I'm being competed over like a piece of meat.
That's exactly right, as a matter of fact.
And you
Brad,
love it.
3 wins this season. I had the chance to speak with him after one of them in Kentucky. Once again, Brad, the topic turned to your victory celebration. Let's take a listen. You and I spoke. You were celebrating a Sprint Cup title. You had that giant beer in your hand, and I was going to give you a hard time for not having one tonight. What's going on with the celebration, man?
Well, you know, we got a little carried away, and we were drinking beer, and then somebody brought some champagne bottles, and we wanted to spray them. Yada, yada, yada. Next thing I know, I got 4 stitches. So let that be a lesson to those watching at home. Always stick with beer.
Always stick.
When you bring out the champagne, that's when the bad stuff happens.
And if that isn't words to live by, I don't know what are. And it is great to have Brad Keselowski in studio here. I've never gotten more feedback on anything that I've done since I've been at ESPN, 6 years now, than the interview that we did in 2012. And I want to take you back to that. You were 28 years old in just your 3rd full season. How were you able to pull off a Sprint Cup title?
Well, it was an incredible season, and I think a lot of things just came together. And that's what it takes for anyone to win a championship in any sport. You know, all the pieces have to be right. And in NASCAR, sometimes we get stuck behind this thought that, you know, it's just the driver, but it really is a team sport. You know, I can't win without my team, crew chief, mechanics, the guys that go over the wall and change the tires, do all those other things. All those pieces have to be right, and I think we just all really clicked very well for the last half of the year in 2012. And I sense that we're doing the same thing right now in 2014.
You're champion in 2012. You head into 2013. What were your goals? Well,
you want to repeat, right? I mean, you don't want to just win one title. You want to keep it going. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
What happened?
You know, we just didn't perform. You know, we had a lot of things kind of go our way in 2012, and we had everything go against us the next year. And that's just part of the cycle of sports. It's unfortunate, but you can't dwell on it. You got to move on and be the best you can.
Here in 2014, you're tied for the season lead in wins with 3. How then, Brad, have you been able to bounce back from what you might characterize as a disappointing 2013?
I think we've improved in almost every category. I think 2013, in the struggles I had, opened up my eyes to become a better driver, try some different things, and I think...
Like what? Like what?
Well, I'm not going to give away any secrets, man, but, you know, some little different techniques in driving the car with, you know, whether it's restarts or pit road or even just on the racetrack. And I think from the team side, there was pressure for everyone else to get a little bit better. You know, 2013 wasn't a good year for us there, and that put some pressure on people to step up, whether it was the pit crew or the other things. So I think all in all, even Ford, you know, who builds our cars and is behind us, you know, it puts some pressure on them to step it up. So I think all of us have responded really well to the struggles of 2013, and I think we've taken our struggles from that year and made them our strengths because of what we've learned.
3 wins this season. You're tied for the lead in number of wins this year. You're the points leader right now. What's the biggest barrier standing in your way to becoming a second-time champion?
Well, there's going to be about 15 other drivers come, you know, the playoffs, which we call the chase in NASCAR. And you can't count out guys like Jimmy Johnson. You know, he's won 6 championships. He's going for 7. Jeff Gordon's been strong. Dale Jr.'s been strong. My teammate Joe Logano's been really well. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to hold us and keep us honest. And, you know, we got to stay hot like we are right now. That's the challenge that I look at.
What odds do you give yourself of winning the championship?
Woo. Like if I was a line maker?
Yes.
Well, I saw in Vegas I went to 5 to 1. A friend of mine sent me a text about that, and he put money down at 15-1 earlier in the season, so he's feeling pretty good about that.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I think 5-1's pretty good. You know, I can understand why Jimmy would be the favorite with winning the championship last year, but I think we're in good shape. But I'm not a lines maker, you know, but I think it'd be pretty close.
You like your odds here. Well, yeah, I tell you this much. If you win again after Miami, I want to speak to you here on SportsCenter. I want that big beer glass in your hand, and maybe send one up my way.
Maybe I'll just fly up here with the glass.
I like that.
We'll share it.
It's great to see you here in studio, and I wish you a lot of safety. Best of luck the rest of the way. Brad Keselowski, good to be with you.
Thank you. See you in Indy.
And ESPN's coverage of the Sprint Cup Series begins Sunday when the vacation comes to an end for Brad and the rest of the guys. The Brickyard 400, presented by Golden Corral. Race coverage begins Sunday noon Eastern on ESPN.
Back to the NFL, this developing story. Good news, Niners.